Hello friends, welcome back to this video on analog communication. In this video, we are going to discuss the limitation of the frequency demodulation method. So I have already discussed how we can demodulate the FM signal in my previous video. So I strongly recommend you to watch my previous video so that you can learn how we can demodulate an FM signal. So here we will see that what are the limitations present in that method. So in the previous video I have already discussed that we need a differentiator and envelope detector to find out the message signal from the modulated signal. So for your quick revision, I am drawing out the block diagram. So this is my modulated signal. So it is passed to the differentiator. So I am denoting it like this. Now it is passed through the envelope detector. So this is my envelope detector. After the envelope detector, I will get the message signal XT. So this is the FM modulated signal. With the help of differentiator, I am getting the AM modulated signal, and with the help of envelope detector, I can easily find out the envelope which shows me the XT, because in AM the envelope is the message signal. So now here we need to see what are the limitations present in this method. Previously we saw this method and we were convinced that we can easily get the signal back from this method. But in practical scenario, the channel is having noise. So I considered the FM signal. So the modulated FM signal was AC cos omega ct plus phi t. So this I considered as the modulated signal. This phi t is kf integration of mt dt. So now here you can see the amplitude is constant, which is AC. Now noise is present in the surrounding and the noise is added only to the amplitude of the modulated signal. So now this amplitude is not constant when it is received at the receiver. So here I cannot denote this AC as constant because I already told you noise would be affecting this amplitude. So now m dash t is the noise. So I am calling it as noise affected frequency modulated signal. So MFT was frequency modulated signal. So now if I add noise to this MFT, it will be m dash FT. So now m dash FMT can be represented as, so here I am denoting the amplitude also as a function of time. So here this amplitude is also varying with respect to time. So it is multiplied with cos omega ct plus phi t. So now here we have this function which is the input to the differentiator. So now let's see what would happen when this is the input to the differentiator. So now d by dt of m dash t would be equal to, so here we have two functions of time. So it is also a function of time and it is also a function of time. So we'll be using the product rule. So first I'll be differentiating AC dash t and I'll be multiplying it with second function which is cos omega ct plus phi t, plus again I'll differentiate this. I'll take this constant now. So it is ACT into minus sine of omega ct plus phi t. So now applying the chain rule. So this is now differentiated. So omega ct gives the omega c as the differentiation plus d by dt of phi t. So now I hope you remember phi t is kf integration of mt dt. So d by dt of phi t was kf into mt, or take it as xt so that you won't get confused. So now d phi t by dt is now kf into xt. Xt is my message signal. So instead of this, now I'll denote kf into xt. So now this is my cosine term or sine term. This is my sinusoidal signal. This is ACT, and here we have the information. So this signal seems like it is an AM signal, but this signal is an additional signal and it will cause errors at the receiver. So now here I have the summation of this term plus this term. Envelope detector will be using this term only, but it is having this term as well, which is causing the errors. So now this signal cannot be easily manipulated with the help of differentiator and envelope detector, and we cannot recover the xt from this signal because xt is here. It is checking this signal as well and this signal. So now when the differentiator is giving envelope detector two signals, it will not be able to detect the envelope according to the xt. So this is the limitation. So how I can remove this limitation? So this limitation is removed using a band limiter. A limiter. So now here we'll be using a limiter. So what is a limiter? Here we have VI, input voltage. So this input voltage or ACT. So here I am taking the input voltage of ACT. So it is making it constant 1 when the input voltage is greater than 0. So whenever input voltage is negative, it is fixing it to the -1 value. So initially the signal was having some deviations in the amplitude. So this was the amplitude, deviated form of amplitude. So this amplitude when passed through this band limiter, so here after this limiter what we'll get? The amplitude will become constant. So whenever the amplitude goes above, it will become constant at 1. Whenever the amplitude goes below, it will become constant at -1. So now here at the input, I'll be getting a constant output. So here how I can say it? So if the amplitude goes above, it is +1 and -1. So these are the frequency variations as well. So now from here you can see with the help of this limiter I have converted this sinusoidal signal. This is a sinusoidal signal. It is converted into pulses. Now if I observe pulses, it will be having different characteristics in respect to the differentiator. So I also don't need these pulses. So here the output was 1 and -1. This is VI, or I can say it is empty. So now here it is in the form of pulses. Now I need to convert this pulses again into sinusoidal form so that I can send it here. In the frequency the information is there. It is also FM signal, but in the form of pulses. So the FM signal now need to be again converted into the frequency modulated signal in the form of the sinusoidal signal. So it was also frequency modulated signal in the pulse form. So how I can convert a pulse into a sinusoidal signal? So we have to go back in the generation of pulses. How I can generate a square wave? The square wave or pulse can be generated using the various harmonic components of the sinusoidal signal. So if I take omega c, I'll add the harmonic components to omega c, 3 omega c up to infinity. If I'll add all of the frequency components to the omega c, I'll get a square wave at omega c. So this is how I am generating a square signal. So here this signal has various frequency components. So this signal has the components of the frequency which are omega c, 2 omega c, 3 omega c up to infinity. So now if I pass this signal through the band pass filter which is centered around omega c. So this signal is passed through the band pass filter which has the center frequency Fc. So after that I'll be getting the sinusoidal signal. So now I hope you understood this. So here we have the information in the frequency. The information in the frequency was changed because of this changed amplitude. So the amplitude is giving me the fake information which I don't require. I can limit it with the help of limiter, but with the help of limiter I generated a pulse which was square wave. So square wave was consisting of various harmonic components. So various harmonic components of various frequencies are present in this signal. So when it is passed through the band pass filter which is centered around Fc, I'll get the single frequency Fc, which is representing a sinusoidal signal. So here I'll be getting a sinusoidal signal. So now I have limited the amplitude and I have converted it into the sinusoidal signal, which is changing the frequency according to the message signal. So here amplitude is constant, but so amplitude would be constant at 1 and -1. So it is 1, it is -1, which is what I required. I required the amplitude to be AC. So here it is constant. So now here I can say amplitude is constant and frequency is varying with respect to xt. So now it's again an FM signal, so it is converted into ideal frequency modulated signal. So now from this signal I can use this receiver and now I can detect my xt back. So whenever I have signal which is modified with the help of noise, so first I'll be passing it through the limiter, after that band pass filter, then this receiver. So the modified receiver would be, so here I'll be having m dash t, it is passed to the limiter, then it is passed through the band pass filter, after that it will be passing through the differentiator, and at the last it is passed through the envelope detector. So from here I'll be getting the xt back. So now I hope you understood how we can demodulate the FM signal. In the previous video I have already talked about the process in detail and the mathematical part as well. Here I have discussed the limitation, its mathematical justification, how the change in the amplitude is causing this receiver to fail. So now this receiver is failed and how we can remove this possibility of error. So with the help of limiter and band pass filter we can remove this error, and now we can easily detect my message signal with the help of the changed modulated signal as well. So this was the changed modulated signal which was having the noise as well. So from it also I have detected my message signal. So here I'll be stopping my discussion. I hope you understood each and everything which I have discussed here in this video. Still, if you have any doubt, you can put the doubt in the comment and I'll try to resolve it as soon as possible. I hope you like this video. If you like it, share it with your friends, subscribe the channel and push the like button. Thank you.